Those are the numbers every year that we lose to suicide. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness. And I know not too many people will be talking about it. And not too many people know about it. But I'm going to be talking about it. Countless times in our society, we suffer in silence. And we are told to man up, to toughen up, keep our head down, and suppress our emotions. It's okay to not be okay and still be a man. If you need somebody to talk to, reach out to them. Do whatever you need to do to not carry the weight of the world on your back. Because at some point, if you don't have somewhere to put it, it'll crush you. I've been there. I know what it feels like to think that tomorrow might not be worth it. At the end of the day, you'll be okay. You may not see your way through, but you always have your next step. And you don't have to act like everything's okay, because it's okay if it's not. Sit in if you have to, cry, yell, scream, do whatever you have to do to process and feel those emotions. But don't let it consume you, because it's consumed enough. Keep going, because when it's all said and done, you will be okay, and you're not alone.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. It just means Queen Baby. Let's get into the foolery this morning. I'm sorry I'm late. I had some things to do, and then I got caught up in traffic early in the morning on 295. It was crazy, baby. The title of this foolery is Allison, okay? Allison Hawker, I'm not sure if I'm going to say her name correctly, expose Stephen Twitch, okay? Stephen Twitch, but you know his legal name is Stephen Boss. Addiction all over social media. Good morning, everybody. So why I played this young man first that spoke, because a lot of times men feelings and situations they're going through are always left on the back burner. And some men believe in their heart that, okay, well, you know what, since nobody cares, let me just, let me just end it all. You know, you have a lot of men who think like that. You have a lot of men who are depressed because nobody hears them when they say something is wrong. Now, I want to say shout out to 1000 Watts Radio, Steven, Big Cooper, how are you? Furious, I see you. How you doing? So, there are a lot of men who cry out because they need help. And sometimes the women in their lives don't see it. Okay? Listen to me. Take heed is not immune to this. Okay? I'm not immune to this either. Okay? There are times where my king sits quiet and I have to ask what's going on. And when I ask what's going on, sometimes when he tells me, I can't believe what he's saying. Okay? And I'll share something with you. My sisters, there are times where you just have to say nothing and listen. There are times when you say nothing and just listen. And I'll share something with you. I had one of those moments last night. Okay? One of those moments last night. And I'm going to share something with you. There's times where you just have to be quiet and just look and listen. Because your reaction is not needed at that time. Someone just needs you to listen. Do you hear what I'm saying, my sisters? Sometimes your husband just needs you to listen. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Jayla Raw. How are you? And so I had one of those moments last night. Now, did it hurt? Yes, it hurted. But did I need to hear? Yes, I needed to hear it. And I want to say, still at the end of the day, my king, I love you. I love you. And I understand what you're going through. I understand. I see. I see. But I want you to also know that I'm with you. I'm with you. I understand. This is the things that we don't know what to say to our husbands when they come with corrections. You understand? When they're telling you what is going on with them. At that time, it's not the time for you to speak. It's not the time for you to judge. Just listen. A lot of us women have to understand it's a time to be quiet at times and just listen attentively. Not be quiet, put your head down, go hide in a corner. Mm-mm. Close your mouth. Look at him. Breathe in what he's telling you, even if it hurts. Breathe it in because maybe a correction is needed on your part. A lot of men die in silence. They do. Because they're talking, but you don't hear them. They're explaining what's going on, but because of your ego, my sister, you don't hear them. This is for every color. It's not just black women. There are a lot of men that they take they go and they take their life because they believe that this is the way. They believe this is the way out. And why I'm mentioning Twitch this morning is because his wife was all over social media, and she was trending. And she was talking about the addiction that her husband had. And I'm going to share something with you. When she said that as they were cleaning out her husband's closet, okay, that there were some things that was inside the closet that she was not aware of. Okay? She found a lot of things she was not aware of. And I'm going to share something with y'all, my sisters. All my sisters, every color. You have to talk to your husband more. You have to talk to him more. You have to ask him, how is everything going? Is there anything wrong that you want to talk about? Because sometimes, my sisters, we in our own world, and so men can't express to you what's going on because sometimes we're in our own world. And I know it's overwhelming because the children too. But you'll be surprised at the stuff that your husband will say to you when you open up that door of communication. I've always thought that my husband was always frank with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always thought he was like to the T. Like just all the time. But as I get more understanding, social media helps me too. So as I get more understanding, and when I sit down and start asking questions, the answer is like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta sit there and instead of me acting up, I got to sit there and be like, okay, you know, and look straight directly at him when he's talking so that you breathe it in and you understand what's going on. Because most of us, when we're talking with our husbands, your head is down, your face is stank while you looking at him, and it's hard for him to tell you how he really feels. And so sometimes men believe that their families don't love them. And you know what? So let me share something with you. At times, this is the case. Most people look at that husband as the workhorse, and when it's time for him to pass away, they just bury him. That's it. That's the uncomfortable truth. The husband is the workhorse, and when he has, done his job, you put him to rest. And a lot of men have gone through life like that. A lot of men have. My sisters, it's up to you for your husband to not go through life like that. Be affectionate. Even when you call yourself having an attitude with him, be affectionate. Still do what you're supposed to do as a wife. You don't know how the world is beating this man up. They say women have it hard. Now, listen to me. I know we have some situations, the things that we go through as well. But men have it the hardest because I'm going to share with you why. A man can never walk up to his job and somebody be ready to curse him out, call him all types of names, and he say, F this job, let me whoop on this so-and-so behind. He's not going to do that because you want to know why? He knows that you and those children depend on him. He knows that you and those children depend on him. But my sisters, when we get fed up with our job and we tired, we quick to tell them, listen, I don't need this job. I don't need this job. My man work, okay? My man work 2, 3 jobs. I don't need this job. My man work for so-and-so. I don't need this job. We're talking about husband. And then, you leave the job. Nothing happens. Because he's going to take care of everything that you can't do anymore. But we don't appreciate the sacrifice our husbands make. A lot of us don't understand the stuff that the husband goes through. A lot of men can be married. Be married 20, 25, 30 years. And the wife never was in love with him. She only stayed married to him for the things that he could do for her. That's it. She only stayed married to him for the things that he could do for her. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing more. It wasn't for nothing else. And she never loved him. So he went through life never knowing what true love was. A lot of men live like this today. They just continue to stay married because it's the right thing to do. My children will hate me. My family will talk about me. He stays in a marriage even though he's unhappy. Check this out. When I heard this woman go off on social media the way she did, I said to myself that this woman never loved this man. You know, when I heard her go ham all over social media, I said to myself, this woman never loved Twitched. She never loved this man. Because to talk about him so condescending, like this man was nothing to her, it broke me. And I was like, I thought about it. And this is why a lot of men take their lives, because they think they're doing the right thing. But then all they hear is all this yakking and yakking and yakking and disrespect and this and that. And so they think, well, let me just end it. And how she came and talked about him having an addiction. And she didn't know all those things was in his closet. Don't y'all live in the same room? Don't y'all sleep in the same bed? You have never put anything in his closet. You have never swept out his closet. And you're saying when he passed away, now you found all these things in his closet. I see what you put, Furious. This is what she said, okay? This is what she said.
And then I realized Steven had addiction problems.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Here we go.
I dealt with an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems, and it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, you know, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other. But it's also not my job to do that. There was a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much. And he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself. I had dealt with an ex that had addiction problems.
Now, she says she dealt with an ex that had an addiction problem, okay? Before Twitch. And then when she got with Twitch, Twitch had an addiction problem. And she said that this was not, this, I should not had to help him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't, it's not really my problem. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, when you're married, okay, when you're married and and your spouse gets an addiction problem, okay? And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, take heed, that's a lot. But you're supposed to help them. Yeah. If when you started dating him, he didn't have an addiction problem, and then in the midst of your marriage, he started having an addiction problem, a family intervention should be done. Do you hear what I'm saying? Something should be done, not you saying that wasn't my problem. So you're saying you didn't know he was addicted to something. You're saying when he passed away, you cleaned out his closet. It shocked you. You have never cleaned his closet before. You have never swept in that closet before. You have never moved anything around in that closet before. But when he passed away, you were shocked at the things that was in his closet. Good morning, Henry. How are you? This is what the family said.
Had dealt with
The family was a little bit, upset. This is what the family said. You won't let my family see the kids. One of the nieces said this. She won't let our family see the kids. He wasn't an addict. He smoked weed. And was actively trying to quit. He wasn't some junkie. That's one of the nieces, I think, said that, or cousins. Now, it says, yeah, I don't give a F about the NDA. She made them sign an NDA to go to his funeral. Y'all. Okay? This crazy woman made me and his actual family members sign an NDA. This crazy woman made me and his actual family members. This is horrible. Made the family members sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral. She's been trying to tarnish his legacy and refused to let the boss family see the children. Only to exploit the lie on my cousin. Hell no. So, okay. So here we go. This is the next one. I'm tired of keeping my effing mouth shut. Bro, this was talking. The cousin is saying, bro, I'm tired of keeping my effing mouth shut. You did our family so effing dirty. Okay? So this is the cousin. Okay? I'm not even gonna say it, but this white woman is doing everything but protect her black children and her black husband legacy. She could have kept this in her therapy office, shaking my damn head. Okay? And Hollywood Unlocked posted all this together. I shared it in our group chat. Okay? And we going to hear her repeat herself one more time. We're going to play the video one more time.
With an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems, and it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other. But it's also...
She said I was able to help one, but I wish I could have been like that for the other. So is she saying that she helped the one boyfriend get free from addiction, but didn't help her husband get free from addiction? Let's listen to it one more time.
That I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much. And he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself. I had dealt with an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems. And it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other. But it's also not my job to do that. There was a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral.
You know what hurt? She says, that wasn't really my job to do that. That's what she said. That wasn't really my job to do that. Do anybody agree? She was married to this man and he had an addiction. And the cousin said his addiction was weed. That's what the cousin said. Said the addiction was weed. Thank you, 1000 Watts Radio, for the $4 super chat, baby. I appreciate you. Guys, please make sure you tune in to 1000 Watts Radio. Brother, content is always fire. So, do you believe? Good morning, Red Pill Awareness. How are you? Mimi, I see you. Chef, how are you? Okay. Am I saying that right, Chief? Am I saying that right? I'm sorry, my dear. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So, do you believe what she's saying is right? It wasn't her job to help her husband. King Ball, if you in the house, how are you, sir? It's good to see you. It wasn't her job to help her husband. And she made it seem like he was on some, crack cocaine, some dope, you know. But allegedly, the niece or cousin says it was weed that he was on. So, was it her job to help him? They were married. They had 2 children. Was it her job to help her husband? Put it in the chat. Let me know. Was she supposed to help her husband? He had an addiction. That's what she calls an addiction. And the niece or cousin says he was trying his best to get off. Jayla Ross says she's wrong for that. It's definitely her job. Steven say yes, it's definitely her job to help. Ooh. Henry said absolutely. Renee said hell yes. Okay, here we go. Somebody said he needs to help himself. So she believed, she believed that it wasn't her job as his wife to intervene. Now, if we want to go biblical, if we want to take it biblically, right? We are one. So if one is drowning, the other one doesn't help and pull back. The other one doesn't pull the other one back and say, wait a minute, you're going too far. Are we not supposed to help? Are we not supposed to help? Because if you're going too far. I see that this will lead to a dead end. Am I not supposed to pull you back and say, wait a minute, you're my person. I don't want you to go that far. We have to stick together. We are one. Now, I find it strange that she came to social media and she told everybody about the husband addiction. Because you know the old saying, you don't speak ill of the dead, right? So could that have been left out? The addiction part? It could have just been he was depressed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to watch people who smile all the time too. You got to watch people who smile all the time because they believe that, nothing is wrong. That smile, sometimes people hide behind the smile. Sometimes people hide behind the smile. And when you don't take the time to check on your husband, a lot of things can go wrong. Because when this man decides to take his life, when he decides to take his life, it spends a whirlwind inside the house. The children don't have an understanding. You're trying to have an understanding that this man pushed himself off the cliff. She got young babies, and he adopted that oldest child that she has. He took that child and gave that child his last name. So she grew up calling him daddy. And then he had two children with her. Don't she know how these kids will be talked about when they get to school? Do you understand, Tom? Tanya, I see what you got, baby. That's right. That's right. Does not the Bible call a spouse a helpmate? Thus the word help. All right now. Speak it. Those kids have to go to school. One thing about children, they're very cruel when they hear some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Children are very cruel when they hear something, especially you bringing it to social media. And you have disgraced this man's legacy. The legacy that he did have, you had disgraced it by saying he was addicted. He was an addict. And his children are still young and they're not understanding. You know how mean children are? Your kids go to school and one of the kids say, "Oh, I saw this on social media. Your father was a druggie." They have to deal with the fact that their father deleted himself. But now they got to deal with people saying, you know, your father was a druggie. Can you imagine? All for clicks and views. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also donate to the page. I know this is heavy today, y'all. I know this is heavy. But we have to talk about it. Because the way the wife took time to disgrace this man. And she couldn't give an answer what happened to him. She couldn't give the family no answer about what happened to him. She couldn't give nobody an answer about what happened. So you living with a stranger. Good morning, Walker. How are you? We're living in a household like strangers. You have never went in this man's closet. You have never seen anything in his closet. You have never swept out his closet. You said you found some strange things in there. The cousin is saying all he did was smoke weed and he was actively trying to get off of it. But she have the world believing that this man is on crack cocaine or dope. Because when you saw addicted, he's an addict, it was like the first thing I thought was crack cocaine. Because that's what Hollywood does. I would have never thought weed. She was talking about weed. A lot of times we don't see the things that our husbands are going through. None of us see the pain that they're going through. We just think he got to just keep, he got to keep getting out there getting that money. Nobody asks him what's going on. How do you feel? Y'all know my husband's mama passed away, okay? Y'all remember I told y'all, right? I still talk to him and ask him, are you okay? Is everything all right? How do you feel? Do you want to talk? Because if you have not lost your mama, you don't know how it feels. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you have not lost your mama, you don't know how it feels for someone to lose their mama. Regardless of how you think, however your mama was. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to understand someone who lost their mama and their daddy. Do you hear what I'm saying? Tracy, thank you, baby, for the $10 super chat. His mama and his brother suspect foul play allegedly. Oh, wow. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. And I'm going to share something with you. It looked painful. It looked painful. One more time, baby. One more time. Thank you. One more time. Tracy, baby, thank you for the $10 super chat. Tracy, you know what, baby? I ain't even know. This is my first time hearing it. But I thought it was so strange that she had a boyfriend so fast. I thought it was so strange that she got a boyfriend so fast. So that, because how do you bring somebody around the kids so fast and their daddy passed away? You know what I'm saying? Like to take a family photo with somebody. Like I understand your needs as a woman. I understand that. But do they have to be around the kids right now? And then they said within under like 6 months, she was dating someone else. So I thought that was a little crazy. Under 6 months, she's dating someone else. I thought it was like a year and some change. From what they said, allegedly, it's like 6 months. And she knew the guy before. Okay? So, and I asked that, I said, this is all alleged. How does a woman lose someone that was the love of her life, like she said, and then it was so easy for her to, snap her fingers and get on that horse again? You know what I'm saying? Like some grieving has to be going on. You know what I'm saying? Some healing between you and the children and everything. Something has to go on first. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be hard for me to just let somebody just come in. You know what I'm saying? And no matter if my body is on fire, my mind wouldn't even let me. You know what I'm saying? Because you have been with this person for so long. Good morning, Daniel. How are you? It's good to see you. So it's a problem here. Now, Walker might be right. Allegedly, she was already checked out. The way you hear her talk, it looked like she was done anyway. Okay? Because she said, she said, I helped with this one. I helped this one with their problem. But the part is I couldn't help my husband with his problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your person. You should want to help this one recover. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. Sun got in my throat. It wasn't like he was on crack cocaine. Crack cocaine is worse. Crack cocaine is worse than weed. I'm sorry. If we want to tell the truth here, crack cocaine and dope is worse than weed. And so now he's labeled an addict and his legacy is done. Once she did this so-called interview, the legacy is done. People will be out here making those kids feel so bad. You know your daddy was a druggie, you know. And you know, and probably what the kids were thinking is that my daddy just was sad, he was unhappy, you know. A lot of sisters was on excuse me, under this post. And they were saying that's good for him for marrying a white woman. Now, I know a lot of y'all be wanting to pay brothers back when something bad happened to them, when they're dating outside the culture. But that ish ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all just, something wrong up here. It ain't funny because if he married a black woman, she could have done the same thing. Okay? It depends on how the woman heart is towards this man. This is why I tell y'all, okay? This is why I say to y'all that when a woman get beside herself or she deems you as the enemy, okay? There's some shit a woman can do that the devil himself has never seen. And for you to have 2 babies with this man, you say it wasn't your responsibility to help him. It was not your responsibility to help him. Why are you his wife? I could see if y'all was dating. You understand? I could see if you were dating him, okay? And you found out he was addicted to something. And then you said, well, baby, I can't, I can't. Okay? But, if you was his girlfriend, I'm saying, you say, I can't, I can't do that. But you were his wife. When you become the wife, there's different hats that you got to put on your head, baby. And you thought it was sound to come to social media and come tell everybody Twitch secrets. Because you know what? This going to get you some money. This going to be a book and everything. You going to see. Allegedly. But those 3 children, the one he adopted and the other 2 he made with you, will get dogged out in school because of you, mama. Them babies gonna get dog walked in school. Even children in the 3rd grade got cell phones. Ain't that nasty? Even children in the 3rd grade got cell phones. Same children on social media. These babies be in the third grade on social media. The thing is, we don't listen to the outcry of our husbands. We don't. We don't listen. We see it, but we act like we don't see it. Sometimes when you see him by himself, it's okay to see if everything is okay. Do you need anything? Do you want to talk? It might just be, nah, babe, I just want to relax, watch the news. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But when you see him constantly do that, also when you see him constantly happy, he's hiding behind something sometimes. Talk to him. Ask him how was his day. What's going on? How are you? How are you feeling? Do you want to sit and talk? Now, my sisters, I want you to understand something. When he says he wants to talk, he's ready to talk, embrace yourself. Do you hear what I'm saying? Embrace yourself. Get ready. Your thing is not to respond. If he says he doesn't like something that's going on in the house, he doesn't like the way the children are acting, he doesn't like the way you don't do certain things in the house like he wants, you know what I'm saying? Your thing is not to lash out. This is not your time. Your time is to sit there and listen. That's your time. Do you hear what I'm saying, my sisters? It's not your time to react and go crazy. This is your time to sit and listen. Even Take Heed got to take this advice. Sometimes it's your time to just be quiet. You got to just listen. This man is trying to tell you what's going on. And it ain't right to just shun it to the side and act like you didn't hear what he said. That's not it. My sisters, a lot of men cry out for help. But you know what the truth is? There's no one there to save them. You want to know why? Because they were built to be the savers. So what do we do when Superman comes in contact with kryptonite? What do we do? Shout out to Mr. He Said for the Superman analogy. What do we do when Superman comes in contact with kryptonite? We got to move the kryptonite away. You got to throw the kryptonite into the forbidden sea. And then you got to sit next to him and close your mouth and say, you want to talk? You want to talk? And sit there. You ain't got to respond. Just listen. And at that same time, sometimes you could just hold his hand, rub on his hand, rub his back. Just listen. There are a lot of men that they go through so much pain and heartache because we don't take time to listen to them. When I think about those moments that I have with my king and he tells me stuff that it hurts, And I look at him and I said, this is my king. This is a strong man. This is a strong man. I love the ground this man walks on because it's by his strength that we are still afloat. It's by his strength we live the way we live. A lot of us don't know how to appreciate what we have until it's gone. When he passed on, now you ready to fall all over the casket. Now you ready to fall out in the church and everything. He's gone. Love him while he's here. Give him his flowers while he's here. You don't get a second chance. Once he has been put 6 feet under, you don't get a second chance. Enjoy your husband while he is here. Let him know he is loved while he is here. Let him know that you need him while he is here. I understand, Renee. I see what you put in here. A lot of husbands go through so much. They see horror that we don't understand. Some husbands have an outlet. Okay? Check this out. Some husbands have an outlet. You know what my husband's outlet is? My husband's outlet is music. He loves music. And he got some speakers in his living room that you can hear it all the way up the street. From the front of the street to the back of the street, all the way back here. These speakers are monster. That's his outlet. So when he blasts these speakers and the kids be like, Mom, I'm like, no, it's his outlet. Let him. Let him. It's his outlet. He needs to listen to this. Let him. Ma, it's too loud. It's too loud. I said, before you, these speakers was here. before you. Before you. I mean, you know, yeah, he changed them, but you know, I'm telling the kids that this is his outlet. Some husbands, they like to take long walks on their own. Some like to play video games. Okay? Renee said hubby loved chess. And some men love chess. Some men like smooth jazz and some cognac and a cigar. Let them enjoy their outlet. Life is already too much on them. My sisters, I'm only saying this to you. Is so that you won't be in this same situation where you don't know what's going on with your husband. This woman been married to Twitch, I think I don't even know, like close to 8 or 10 years, and she didn't know what was going on with her husband. She didn't know what he had in his closet, y'all. Who says that? When I'm cleaning up the bedroom, I see what's going on in my husband's closet. We got 2 closets. Closet wide open. When I'm cleaning up, you see. Do you hear what I'm saying? How do you not know what's going on with your husband? And that tells me right there you didn't want to know. That tells me right there you didn't want to know. Because women have this inside them that we know when something is off when it comes to our husbands. Because that's how we know when they're cheating. Because something is off. And so you're telling me you were not aware of the nonsense he was going through. Walker said a selfish woman said that. All right now. Walker, you could kick him out. That's the uncomfortable truth. I gotta play her one more time because when you hear the way she just, you know, no remorse or anything, nothing.
Addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems, and it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other. But it's also not my job to do that. There was a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much. And he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself. I had dealt with an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems, and it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other. But it's also not my job to do that. There was a moment.
It's also not my job to do it. She said, I helped one, but I couldn't help the other. And it's also not my job to do it. Baby, you the helpmate. You the helpmate. How many times have I said this to y'all? You're the helpmate. So whatever your husband drops, you pick it up. That's what you're designed to do. You're the helpmate. Now listen to me. If he had this going on when you were dating him, you were not supposed to marry him. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you didn't want a man who smoked weed, that's what the niece said. You made it seem like he was on crack cocaine. But if he smoked weed and that's not what you wanted, then you should not have, started messing with him. That's the uncomfortable truth. But you find out within the marriage that he had an addiction, you say. So this is time to talk. Let's figure out what's going on, because you making it seem like telling the world that he was addicted to some hard drug. Where, and listen, I'm not here to make anybody feel some type of way, but weed is from the earth. So I'm not going to sit there and condemn somebody. I don't smoke weed, but I'm not going to condemn somebody from smoking something from the earth. This man passed away.
Out with an ex.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. We had to get on something else. It's painful. I'm sorry. It just breaks my heart because, you know, when you are a wife and you see a woman who she doesn't love her husband, it hurts a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It hurts. And I'm going to share something with you. Good morning, 18. How are you, baby? This woman was a baby mama. I see you, Renee. No problem, my dear. This woman was a baby mama. And he married her being a baby mama. This is why I get so mad with y'all sometimes, because everybody don't need to be saved. Do you know what it is for a man to come in and accept your children? Do you know what it is for a man to come in and accept children that are not his and marry you and give you his last name? Do you know what it is for a man to go and change your children's name to his name because he loved you so much? Do you know what it is for a man to do that? To come and save you and take those babies under his wing. Do you know what it is? A lot of y'all don't know what it is to have a man come in and say, even though you got these kids, and you made these kids with a man that is not of substance, I came in to save you. Do you know what it is for a man to come in and take a woman off baby mama lane, up the street, around the corner? Do you know what it is for him to accept you with these kids or child, and then go and change these children's last name to his? And he loved your babies like he made them. And the sad part is sometimes these kids get grown and they turn on these men. And these men right here, let me share something with you. And these same men were the ones who were buying diapers and Pampers and clothes and school clothes and shoes and buying food and got a roof over your head and made sure the water and the heat and the gas, and you got money to put gas in that car, and that car is working properly. And the baby daddy ain't do she. And the baby daddy ain't do she. This man loved you enough that he let you call him daddy. And then when you get grown, you give him your ass to kiss. This is why they call a lot of men step dummies. That be stepdaddies. They call them step dummies. And it's sad and it's painful because they get out here and they get used for no damn reason. And mamas, when your children start acting like they lost their motherfucking mind, it's time for you to let them know, if it wasn't for this man, you wouldn't have shit. If it wasn't for this man, you wouldn't know what it is to know what a man looks like. If it wasn't for this man, you would have been able to call nobody daddy. Because your own daddy didn't want you. Sometimes you got to tell kids the truth. When they getting in here, getting indignant to the husband and the husband done raised them, sometimes you got to be a little mean to them and tell them, your own daddy didn't want you. Your own daddy told me he didn't want you. I know it's nasty. I know it's nasty. I'm going to say, take heed now. Damn it, hold on. I know it's nasty. But sometimes when they get grown and they get out and get indignant, you don't tell them why they're a teenager. But when they get grown and they get indignant, well, it depends now. It depends. Because if they're a teenager and they getting indignant, you got to let them know the truth too. If it wasn't for this man, you wouldn't have what you have today. If it wasn't for this man, you may not have had the outcome you have today. You may not have been raised in the neighborhood that you are in today. If it wasn't for this man, you wouldn't have the mindset that you have about men if it wasn't for this man that you were being raised with. But they call men, these stepfathers, step dummies. And all he was trying to do was save a woman that he loved because he thought it was the right thing to do. And then he find out later, should I really save this woman? Should I have saved this woman because her kids is so nasty to me? Her kids are disrespectful to me. And I was the one where the holidays came in. Hey, sister 1973. Hey, Tara, what's going on? When the holidays came in, I did. When the kids' shoes were messed up, I replaced the shoes. Ain't nobody was paying child support. I was doing it. I was helping this woman raise her babies. And they always get the short end of the stick. And that's why they call men who are stepfathers step dummies. Because the nonsense that they got to go through. And my sisters, let me share something with you. When a man decide that he gonna take you and those babies on, or you and the baby on, as his own, this man is supposed to get the highest respect. This man is supposed to get the highest respect. He's supposed to get the highest respect, but what do? We tell him, kiss my ass. My baby daddy come first. He was here first. You don't tell my child what to do. You not their father. Mind you, all the food they eat in the motherfucking house was because of your husband. When they washed their clothes, it was because of your husband. The washer and dryer was bought because of your husband. The mortgage, the light, the gas, the water, the sewer was paid because of your husband. You got to start talking to these kids. Start talking to them. Even if it hurt them a little bit, tell them. You want to get in here, you want to disrespect this man, you want to get nasty with this man, you want to tell this man he this, he that. But this was the same man who bought you diapers. This was the same man who bought you milk. This was the same man who bought you clothes. The same man who walked you to school when you was able to start walking. The same man that lifted you up on his shoulders and walked you to school. The same man. And all you could do is give him your ass to kiss. And your own daddy wasn't there. Sometimes, mama, you got to hurt these kids a little bit. You got to hurt them a little bit to let them know. I ain't saying disgrace them, but you gotta hurt them a little bit to know. You grown now. Ain't nothing else I can do. You grown now. Whatever decisions you make, you're on your own, damn it. We treat these stepfathers like they shit. We treat them like they shit. Twitch was a stepfather. Twitch was a stepfather. He was a stepfather. That oldest child he took and gave that baby his last name. This girl called him daddy. And then he had 2 more children with his wife. He raised that oldest one like nothing was different at all. He loved that baby like nothing was different. Some of y'all don't deserve men like this. Y'all don't be deserving men like this. You do not deserve men like this. Some of y'all don't need to be saved. Some of y'all just need to stay right out there in the Pacific Ocean and sit out there. Some of y'all just need to sit right out there. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You be up there with them babies in that boat. Just sit right there until they get grown. Some of y'all don't need no saving. You don't. Some of y'all don't. You don't deserve to be saved. And I know that's mean because I'm a baby mama. I know that's mean. But the difference between me and you, I know who came to save me. I know how much I appreciate him. I know how much I'm not going to let no child of mine say something to my husband like they crazy. Not even the children we had together. You won't talk to my husband like you lost your mind. Because I'm going to let you know what it is and what it is not. And if you want to hear the truth, you're going to learn it and you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. Sometimes when these kids get a little bit indignant, you got to let them know. If it wasn't for your daddy, I wouldn't be looking at you right now, damn it. If it wasn't for your daddy, I wouldn't be looking at you right now, damn it. You better fix your tone. You better act like you got some sense in here. Sometimes you gotta let them know. Got to let them know, damn it. Some of these men, they get clowned all over social media. And I'm going to share something with you. I remember doing a video about stepfathers, and I said that stepfathers are weak. I said this. Stepfathers are weak. Everybody went crazy. They was going crazy. Take heed, your husband is a stepfather, this and that, and all sort of stuff. I think I said weak or something. I said something. It was something crazy. It was clickbait. I said, only how it's okay to be a stepfather. And I'm not forcing this on anybody. But the woman got to have those kids in check. And no baby daddies or baby daddy got to be in check. And if they not, bounce. Bounce. Because I'm going to share something with you. It's 80% baby mamas in the black community. Do you know how many women will want you to come in and help her and be appreciative of how you taking care of her and those kids and give you more babies on top of the ones she got? And she love and respect you, and then can't nobody say no nonsense to you or she gonna snap. I wish a bitch would say something to my husband and my family. I wish somebody say something to him. I would snap, and they already know. They already know. You won't talk to my husband like you crazy. I always tell, the kids say to me, Mama, I think you love daddy. You love daddy more than you love, us. And I tell them, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I do. I do. He was here first. He was here first. Yeah. Because if I didn't look at him a certain way, I wouldn't be looking at you. Now, when the kids ask amongst themselves, Mama, who you love more? I said, I love all of y'all the same. But when it comes to your daddy, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. You hear me? There's no comparison. You want me to get in here and tell you, oh, Mama, you love us more than you love daddy. If I didn't look at your daddy a certain way, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. So I love your daddy more. My sisters, we have to start telling these children the truth. We have to start telling these children the truth. It may hurt, but you have to start telling these kids the truth. Now, amongst y'all, I love y'all all the same. Okay? Amongst the children, I love all y'all the same. All y'all my babies. Okay? But when it comes to the husband, you got to let him know, no, I love him first. I love him first. All right? That's the uncomfortable truth right there. Loss, how are you, sir? It's good to see you. That's the uncomfortable truth right there. Sometimes you got to hit him right in the chest with it. Boom, yes. Yes. I love him first. From what it tells me is that Allison never loved Twitch in the first place. She was only looking for someone to help her raise that oldest child because she felt shame about having that baby. And I'll share something with you. The baby could have passed to be his because she mixed with us, okay? So she could have passed to been his, and nobody would have thought anything. Twitch even gave that girl his last name. That's nasty, I know, honey. I know. It's nasty, but it's true. She didn't love him. She didn't love him at all. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Now, listen. Regardless of what anybody say, you know this is all alleged. You know you don't want to get sued. But the truth is that you can't tell me you didn't know what was going on in his closet. You can't tell me that and me sit there and believe you. You can't tell me you didn't see something off. Men are creatures of habit. They are. They're creatures of habit. I've been married to my husband going on 18 years. I know everything he's going to do. He has a routine every day. Same routine. Same routine, honey. My husband is always smooth like Sunday morning. And when a man gets out his routine, you know something is wrong. Do you hear me? When he get out of his routine, you know something is wrong. And she gonna say she didn't know what his closet looked like. You didn't know. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Now we gonna get on something else. We done. We done. I don't want to cry. We gonna get on something else. Okay? We gonna get on something else. Now, shout out to the Blizzard King. Dennis Sperling had put this out. And it's from, this guy, the Fresh and Fit guys, right? But it's not his own podcast. He's on somebody else's podcast. So there's no copy strike or whatever. Okay? So I want y'all to hear what he said. Okay? Y'all listen up.
Where do you rank black women in terms of attractiveness?
All the way at the bottom. Now, are all black girls ugly? Of course not. There's some hot ones, but it's a minority. And let's be honest here. The average black woman's 187 pounds, loud, obnoxious, rude, fake hair. They've done studies on a customer service, and black women rank the lowest for getting a customer service representative that's black, and then also waiting on a table of black women. So servers say they hate serving black women the most, and then people that call customer service say they hate dealing with black women the most. So it's like, bro, what the is going on here, man? And then on top of that, black women don't have a general respect for masculinity because a lot of them grow up in fatherless households. They grow up being told, your daddy ain't your ain't then you listen to the music ain't and it's this continuous and very pernicious cycle of just constant on men. So by the time she comes to you, she doesn't really have an appreciation or respect for masculinity and most importantly, your authority. So she doesn't feel as though she needs to submit to you and follow you. So these are just some of the issues that plague the black community. Again, I want to be clear about this. Is this all black women? No, but we can't sit here and lie and say that it's not something that permeates throughout the culture and isn't endorsed, supported, and most importantly, encouraged.
Where do you rank black women in terms?
So now listen, we all know that what's his name, Byron or something, Myron, is a problem on social media, and he doesn't like black women. Okay, now we all know this. Okay, you can tell the way he interacts when it comes to black women. And good morning, black lady. How are you? So we all know this. Okay, but I want to share something with y'all, my sisters. Okay. I want to share something with y'all, my sisters. We miss you too, black lady. He not lying about that part. Everything he said about how black women are He's not lying. Now, when it comes to beauty standards, okay? When it comes to beauty standards, my sisters, you are icons. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Sister 1973, thank you, baby, for the $4.99 super chat, honey. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you. Truth is real. Uppercut to stop the undercut of disrespect. Ooh, that's nasty. That's nasty. Hold on. Let me get it. One more time. 1973. Thank you, baby. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Truth is real. Uppercut that stops the undercut of disrespect. So Myron said that black women are at the totem pole, like all the way at the bottom of the totem pole when he talks about beauty. Okay? That we're all the way at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to beauty. I'm going to share something with you, my sisters. I don't agree with that part. We are icons when it comes to beauty. There is nothing like the skin of a black woman, her body, her shape, the rhythm. There's nothing like it. It has been copied so much apart all over the world, it's not even funny. Okay? That people got to go pay somebody to get the shape that we have naturally, just with some sweet cornbread and some gravy. Okay? So, what he's saying with the standards of beauty, he's wrong about that. But everything else he said about our character and the way we behave, he's right. Let me share something with y'all. When I'm calling to get something done, and it's my sister on the phone, I get very leery when it's my sister. I remain calm, but I get very leery because the way she responds is nasty. Now, we ain't gonna say all black women. Some got some nice customer service, but some don't. Okay? And so when you get on the phone with some of these women, they nasty and they indignant. And then sometimes you have to say, oh, you know what? I'll call back at a later time. I got to go do something. That's how I get out the whole conversation. I'll call back at a later time. I got to go do something. Excuse me. And so what I do is I wait 20 minutes. I call back. I'll get another customer service rep. And the woman will be Caucasian. Or either it will be a black man. Or either it will be a Caucasian man. And I will get what I need done. And it will not be what the sister told me that has to be done. And then I will ask them, oh, I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do this. Hey, no. You didn't have to. Don't worry, I got you. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. And they switch over. Now, all that foolery I went through with my sister. Okay? Because y'all don't know how to talk to nobody. Okay? That y'all very disrespectful. Myron is right about that. A lot of y'all are. Sometimes you hate to go to a restaurant and have a waitress that is African American because they're nasty. You shake your head sometimes. Nobody smiles. Now listen to me. More than likely, why she got an attitude is because somebody came in and messed up her day. But we shouldn't take it out on every other customer. Do you understand? We shouldn't take it out on every other customer. Do you hear what I'm saying? The way we talk to people is nasty. A lot of my coworkers used to say to me, "You always so nice to the patients. You always, so kind to them. Even when you having a rough day, the doctor shouted at you or something like that." And you know what I tell them? The patient didn't do anything wrong. Why am I being nasty to the patient? The patient's sick. So why I'm going to take it out on the patient? So what, the doctor was nasty to me? When I get a chance, I'm going to pull a doc to the side. I'm going to say, "Listen, doc, now I'm grown, you grown. You going to talk to me like you got some sense. You know what I'm saying? You going to talk to me like you got some sense." And then the doc look at me and say, "I just was having a rough day." I said, "Okay, it's all right. You having a rough day. But you got to talk like you got some sense. You can't be getting up here screaming. These people going to think you don't know what you're doing." And sometimes he'll look at me, he say, "You right." I said, "Okay, let's calm down." Now, I'm not saying everybody did it to him like that. I ain't saying everybody was able to do it to him like that. But he was young, so he looked at me like, I could be his mama or something like that. But the thing is that we have to learn how to talk to people. We don't. When it comes to a man giving authority and he wants you to do something, we should not be, we got to get pushback. We got to get gangster. We got to get ghetto. We got to get nasty. Because he telling you to do something. And now Myron is right now. Myron is right when it say that because a lot of us didn't have male figures in the home. And so it bothers us when, a man is giving you directions, He needs you to do something. Many times, head nurse, be a male sometimes, say, "Listen, I need you to go down to the supply room." And it's all the way in the basement. "I need you to go down to the supply room, get this, 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 this." And some of the girls on the floor like, "I wouldn't take that if he said all that to me." I said, "And you wouldn't have a job. If he told you and you didn't do it, you wouldn't have a job, baby. What you gonna do?" They say to me, "You just take the orders like that?" I tell them, "Listen, I got a husband at home. So I know he not telling me anything wrong. He just need me to get something. I'm happily going to the basement and get the stuff and come back." What kind of nonsense? And because we don't know how, okay? All right? Because we don't know how. Yes, it was 18. Just because we don't understand what we're supposed to do, or we don't understand that we're supposed to be respectful, we get indignant. Most black women, we don't even use our manners when we're dealing with people. Now, don't get me wrong. Take heed, get up here. I be getting it in, okay? But if I ever talk to you in private, you like, "Oh, wait a minute, take heed. You something else." I listen, because the same respect that I give, I want you to give it back to me. Now, can I get nasty? Yes, I can, baby. It's some fire. But long as you remain respectful to me, I'm going to remain respectful to you. And even at times, you may get disrespectful, but I need something from you. So I'm going to stay respectful. I always use that as at the motor vehicle. You got to, because motor vehicle is wild. You always got to, even though they nasty, you need something there. Okay, so you gonna trap that, that nasty stuff they talking. You don't care. I need to get something from here. Okay, there's certain entities where you need to get something. That attitude ain't gonna help. Okay, some of those, that attitude that you got, and you need to get something from somewhere. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Sometimes when people have the power to hold you in limbo, baby, they will do it. They will do it. One thing I always learned, right? Even before I started working at the hospital and I was with Port, always be kind to your nurse. I learned this. Always be kind to your nurse. Always be kind to your nurse. And I learned this when I was a teenager. I knew this going into Port, but I learned this when I was a teenager. Because you need this woman to take care of you. So if you're kind to her, she's going to want to come to take care of you. Always be kind to people who help the elderly. These people are coming to take care of your parents. Always be kind. Think it's okay to be nasty. We gotta do better. Gotta do better. Being nasty doesn't help the situation. I watched Green Bees. I hope I greeted you. How are you? I watched something on IG where they was in a food mart or something like that. And the cashier was so nasty to this black man and so indignant. He got ruffled up and upset and was jumping in her face. Okay? I'm going to share something with you, my brothers and sisters. It's better with honey than vinegar. My sisters I'm actually talking to. It's better with honey than vinegar. A lot of y'all lose your job because of your mouth. A lot of us lose our children because of our mouth. A lot of us lose our husbands because of our mouth. A lot of us lose great opportunities because of our mouth. I'm just sharing with you life lessons. That's all, nothing more. Life lessons. I'm not saying you always gotta be, because sometimes I get indignant too. But you have to bring me there. We should not be going off the handle at someone you just meeting for the first time and you're nasty to them. That does not make sense. Lost got it right. That's right. A gentle answer turns away wrath. That ain't nothing but the truth. A lot of people don't understand just how round the world is. And the time they think they have, they don't have, because payback will always be just rewards of bad behavior. Sister 1973. Go ahead, baby. Tara said, truth, 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 and more truth. Miss Straight Up No Chaser, she clouded me today. Forget you now. Forget you now. You know I told you that wrench is in question today. This year. So I wanted to share that with y'all about what Myron said, okay? Now, I don't agree with the beauty stand-up part, but I do agree that a change needs to come. I want y'all to hear this. This video is from 1968. And it's a husband and a wife talking. And this is what black women believed back then. I want you to hear this, okay? I want you to hear this. Here we go.
White man would stop and realize and think that the black man feels the same about his wife as he feels about his. I think it would be a better understanding too. The black man don't want his wife to get up and go to work every morning and punch a time card right along with him. He wants his wife home just like the white man wants his wife at home.
Because the father represents the law in the home, and the mother represents love in the home. You take when a child come in and he's hurt or bruised or something, he goes to mama. But when he come in and he has a problem, he goes to daddy. You know, because he figured daddy is the symbol of law. Daddy is a symbol. He comes to daddy because daddy can help him.
And I don't think it's good that a mother have to get out and work and leave her children at home. It makes bad children. It causes some children to go astray. It's too much freedom where there's a girl in the home. It causes illegitimate pregnancy in the home from the girl. And just any number of things that it causes when a parent have to go out and leave her children at home by themselves.
Now, is that true? Come on now, somebody. Is that true? Is that true? Because when mama got out the home, you know, mama working, okay, especially in the black community, mama was working. That oldest daughter had free time. She could invite boys over to the house while mama working. That's why back in the late 70s and 80s, there was like a crazy boom when it came to, in the 90s too, when it came to teenage pregnancy. Because mama had to work. Daddy wasn't in the home. Mama had to work. Daddy wasn't in home. Mama was doing everything on her own. And because mama is out working all the time, it breeds children that are disrespectful, don't have manners, and not doing what they supposed to do. Because it's hard to be raising those kids. It's hard to raise those kids. And work too. Because sometimes you can put so much fear in children. Sometimes you could put so much fear in children and they could still do wrong. I ain't lying. Because we are not designed to raise these kids alone. The black community has failed because we thought we didn't need the husband. We thought we didn't need the husband. So what we do, make that eldest child an adult. And you know this your baby, but you made that oldest child an adult. And they became the husband of the home. Or the second mama of the home. And then when the child start talking back to you, you want to put the child back in their place. But you done brought them out of their place a long time ago. Because there's no husband in the household. I know it's nasty. But it's true. A lot of y'all up here was the second mama. Okay? Raise your hand if you was the second mama. Okay? Raise your hand if you was the daddy. Okay? Raise your hand if you was the daddy in the household. Because mama couldn't keep a man. Because mama didn't know how to close her mouth. Mama said, I can do everything and a little bit more. I don't need no man. Black women had that mentality. I don't need no man. Men ain't shit. Men ain't gonna never be shit. Men ain't gonna never was shit. And they thought that made sense. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Thank you to everybody who donated to the channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel as well. If you did not, can you do that right now? Okay? Like and subscribe to the page. Donate to the page if you can. Also, Super Chat, Venmo, and Cash App is available. Okay? Super Chat is available right now in the chat. And Venmo and Cash App is in my link in my bio. Also, if you want to shop with us, our family business is called ubandrexfashion.com. And we sell from Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay as well. Okay? If you want to shop merch, scroll to the top of the page and you will see shop or store. Go in there and check it out. See if you like anything. Okay? If you like anything, buy it. Buy it if you like anything. Okay? Listen, y'all. A mindset needs to be changed. And we have to do better. My sisters, value your husband while he's still here. Because when God called him home to glory, you won't be able to say shoulda, coulda, woulda. You understand what I'm saying? You won't be able to say shoulda, coulda, woulda. Enjoy him while he's here. And if a man came in your life and saved you and those children, appreciate him. You know, Not every man comes to destroy. Some men come to restore. My sisters, y'all ones who've been hurt, and y'all continuously be under these women who like to keep pushing that narrative that men ain't shit and men ain't gonna never be shit. You got to get away from them. Do you hear what I'm saying? You got to be able to get away from them. You are designed to have a covering. You are designed to be obedient to your covering. You are designed to be respectful to your covering. That's what you are designed to do. And because a lot of us don't do it, you're working out of your order. You're working out of God's plan. That's why in your mind things are not coming together. Things in your life are not coming together because you are working outside of God's design. Now, I know I'm a heathen talking about Yahweh. I know I'm a heathen. But I still love him. Everybody take heed to the message. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
But God only knows what you've been through.